Hey, my name is Attorney Walter, if not the third. I'm with Disability Resolution PA. We're going to be going through question 197. I'm just going to read it. Here it is, and this is out of the top 200 Social Security disability hearing questions that you're likely to experience at your hearing. How does your learning disorder limit your ability to function? All right, so first and foremost, you got to think, is my learning disorder related to a mental condition? Is my learning disorder related to a physical condition? Is my learning disorder one of the many types, you know, and everybody comes to me with dyslexia. Oh, dyslexia, that's like I hear that over and over. There's actually many types of learning disorders. So when you automatically have a learning disorder and somebody's like, oh, hey, go get tested for the other ones. There's a bunch. All right, let's go into this. A lot of individuals fall into, you know, intellectual capacity limitation 12.05. 12.05. So when you Google the listing, go look at 12.05. That has details. I pulled it up here where it talks about sub-average general intellectual functioning. It talks about standardized testing. It talks about IQs under 70. It talks about limitations with understanding, remembering, and applying information, or interacting with others, or concentrating, persistence, and maintaining pace, or adapting or managing oneself, blah, blah, blah. And then there's the three. The point here is this. Just go read it. 12.05 disability listing. And this chair is terrible. And the reason why is this. I want you to understand what the criteria is that the judge is pushing for. Now, when you go to explain how you have difficulty with your intellectual functioning, you have to go into two things. A, how your intellectual functioning limits you based on how it slows you down. And then two, how the symptoms of your medication, or rather the side effects, also slow you down or make it more difficult for you to focus or do things. So, the symptoms of your impairment, the side effects of your medication. Those are the two categories I want you to focus on when it comes to this type of impairment. What we're looking for when it comes to this situation is, you know, does the person, how do they compare to an average individual, right? And in law, we consider the average individual a taxi driver or somebody who's taken a standardized test, and we have an actual metric for a standard mental capacity of an individual. Here's the whole thing that we're looking for. Are you able to read? Are you able to write? Are you able to write your name? Are you able to go ahead and interact with others? Are you able to go ahead and, you know, do academia at an age-appropriate level? Are you able to go ahead and, you know, basically figure things out? How many steps does it take? You know, if it takes too many steps, what happens to you? Do you get flustered? Are you able to figure it out the second time? Does it just, you know, do you go into this repetitive motion thing? Do you have like a hyperactive body problem that is a part of it? Explain all of these details to the judge, because, you know, with learning disorders, and I'm going to be straightforward with you, the toughest claimants to coach are those with learning disorders. Makes sense, sounds simple. I know, and you know that too, and that's fine. But the point is this: when I tell them A, B, or C, people with learning disorders, they'll go, yeah. I'll talk to them 2 weeks later. They'll have no idea what we talked about, or they will remember it as the literal exact opposite of what I told them to think about. They'll come out with this whole statement of like, oh, and you told me this, and I'm sitting there going, dude, come on, man. You know, and that's the thing, is that these intellectual limitation individuals can't remember things, or the brain flips it around. A lot of people will say to them, man, just try a little harder, just focus a little better, man, take these magic pills from YouTube. They don't work. The bottom line is this: if somebody has a mental capacity problem where they just can't do something, I mean, maybe some medications will help them focus at a higher level, but what they're looking for here are individuals. And I know a lot of you guys are sitting there going like, well, I was able to take this medication when I was going to high school, and it really made me focus. Cool, ADHD kid. That's cool. I appreciate your input. I do. But what they're looking for nowadays when it comes to this listing level criteria is somebody with medication where, you know, it's really, really bad. Now the kid ones, yeah, you're still going to see the ADHD and all that stuff. But the bottom line here is this: these are individuals who really can't do traditional work. They want to usually, but they just can't do it. All right, let me give you an example. If something takes 5 steps and they can only do 3 steps, that's an example of somebody who's having some pretty strong cognitive limitations. Now, let me give you another example. You're sitting there, you're playing chess across from somebody. This other person has a mental cognitive limitation disorder. Okay, so you're sitting there and you're going, if I move this piece, that's going to happen. If I move that piece, that's going to happen. If I move that piece, that's going to happen. If I move this piece, that's going to happen. What's best out of all of those? This one. Okay, cool. I move this one, they move, that's the best shot. And then I move this one, this is the best shot. I move this is the best shot. You go 10 moves ahead, you're brilliant, you're a genius, congratulations. The person sitting across from you is thinking, if I move this one, I'm done with my turn. Good option. And that's what you need to realize with this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people, they'll look at somebody and be like, hey, you're an idiot, but they don't get it. Like, some people, they don't have, you know, one of the big things of working with the homeless and the low income is that you do get a lot of individuals in there who just fell through the cracks of the system. And that's really, to be fair, with many of them, not the fault of their own. They didn't have it. They didn't have the capacity to do that. And no matter how aggressively far right or aggressively far left, right, the extreme Republicans or the extreme Democrats think, no matter what they're pushing on the platform, you need to understand everybody who works, in my opinion, with these individuals for a long enough period of time, homeless and low income, there's not a single person I've ever run into who said that college was the right choice for everybody. It's just not. It's not the right choice for everybody. How could you say that? Everybody should be able to go to college. Yeah, sure, everybody should be able to go to college, but not everybody can complete college. You know, that's another problem with this country. There's nothing wrong with being the guy that collects the trash on the back of the truck and throws it in the machine, or sits in the machine and has to grab it with the bucket and flip it into the back of the truck. There's nothing wrong with that. Just like there's nothing wrong with the evil genius scientist working a way to figure out whatever he wants to figure out, so long as he doesn't hurt somebody. This is America. You can be whatever you want to be within your intellectual capacity. That's the reality of it. College is not for everybody. What do you mean college? You gotta go to college. That's the only way and path. No, trust me, there's a lot of people who never went to college who make a heck of a lot more money than I do. A heck of a lot more money. The people who invested into, you know, little houses and things like that, they make a heck of a lot more money than me. The people who invented programs and stuff like that for your iPhone or whatever, they make a heck of a lot more money than me. You know, look at Bill Gates. Look at how far he got in college. Look at John Mayer. How far did he get in college? All these individuals, they just had it. College is for people who, you know, some geniuses, yeah, for sure, they finish it out and they go and do the high level stuff, but then some people, they just don't need it. And then you have some individuals that genetically are unable to go ahead and do what's required of college. Doesn't mean they're a bad person. A lot of these people are amazing, great-hearted individuals. And what happens to them, sadly, is they get abused by people, and then usually the females will usually want to go ahead and just make people happy because the memories in their mind are so horrible. So what they usually do is they find makeup, and they'll dress up as something that will make people happy. It doesn't have to be a clown, but I know a lot of individuals who were abused who dress up as a clown to go ahead and make people happy and really run around and smile and do all those things. And then you have other individuals who basically just withdraw from the world. You know, I know claimants that I've represented. You know, I never saw them, represented them. They live in a room, they do their thing in the room, and other than basically going to the bathroom, they do not leave that room. And that is their life, and that's the rest of their life. So I just want to bring a little awareness to the intellectual function capacity-based listings. It's not as simple as you might think, all right? But the judge is looking for how you have difficulty with doing functional tasks because of the limitations when it comes to your mind, okay? So how long can you pay attention? Are you good at oral instruction, written instruction? Can you get along with others? Are you able to, you know, add, subtract, do basic math functions? Are you able to go ahead, you know, and write your name or read a book? What was the theme of the book? What was the storyline? What happened in the movie you watched? What was the problem with the main character? Blah, 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 blah. All that kind of stuff, all right? My name is Attorney Walter Knopf III. If you want to help me out, please leave me 5-star reviews. Avo, Google, Better Business Bureau. Links are below. Subscribe, like, and any of those other things that people say. And then also, if you catch up with me, 8 to 10 every Thursday, I go live Eastern Standard on YouTube. I hope all's well, and thank you so much. Bye-bye.